Howdy, assholes! Are you 13? Are you? Well, let me tell you something. If you're 13 years old or older, sit back, grab yourself some popcorn, enjoy the show. You're allowed to stay. But if you're not 13, get the fuck out. Right now. This show is not for you. It is not for children. It is for adults and young adults, and you should go ask your parents why they suck at their job because they're letting YouTube raise their kid. So yeah, go do that. Come back when you're 13. Enough said.
Ah, yes. The good old-fashioned Kaiju Rumble. Who knew that watching two grown men in rubber suits slap the shit out of each other for an hour would be so much fun to watch? But where did this tradition get its start, you ask? After all, the first Godzilla movie, the masterpiece it was, yeah, it didn't actually feature another monster for Godzilla to fight. We would have to wait until the next year in 1955 to see that tradition get started in Godzilla Raids Again, where Godzilla, or Godzilla's son rather, reappears and starts wreaking havoc on Japan, as well as having to fight off another giant monster by the name of Anguirus.
Anguirus!
Captain, it's the Anguirus!
Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, I don't... How many different names for Anguirus are there at this point?
Mafia boss?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everyone knows his aliases, but, I mean, no one really knows his real name, so, hell, he might be a mafia boss. Shit.
Who knows what goes down underground?
Oh, God. Alright. So, yeah, Noah, second episode of the Godzillathon. You ready to get started?
Yes!
Alright. Well then.
I have been mentally preparing myself for this.
Alright, well I hope that training paid off. Son Gokuzilla. Whatever.
Yeah.
First things first, people may not know this film by Godzilla Raids Again. The majority of people who know about this film will know it as Godzilla Raids Again. But here's the thing. In the original 1954 movie, yes, it has two different names, maybe more. I haven't been able to find any more than the standard two. The two that everyone knows the 1954 film by are Gojira, the original Japanese cut, or Godzilla King of the Monsters, the 1956 re-edit. However, it wasn't until Godzilla Raids Again when the names for these movies across different countries would just get really bad. Excuse me, sorry. There are two names that this film goes by that you may be familiar with, you may not be. Godzilla Raids Again, as well as Gigantus the Fire Monster.
It's not Gigantus, it's Godzilla, you cunts.
Next movie, Godzilla vs. Gigantus.
Oh, God!
I swear to God, if they actually make an actual kaiju called Gigantus that's canon in the Godzilla franchise, I'm actually going to be kind of happy if Godzilla just beats the shit out of it.
Final Wars, that was your cue. You beat the shit out of Zilla.
Okay.
Alright, in terms of production, the film itself began a few weeks after the 1954 film, when apparently, and don't quote me on this is just information I found from both IMDb and Wikipedia, but apparently there was a party for producer Iwao Mori. Noah, please tell me I'm pronouncing that right. What?
I'm going by what you said, and I'm guessing Iwamori.
Okay. Sorry if you watch this.
It's really hard to say it at a fast pace. It's still the Japanese language. You gotta say it fast.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, people should be expecting it. These are Godzilla films, and we're both Americans, so we don't know that much Japanese, so... Sorry.
I'm Mexican.
Oh, shit. Sorry, dude. Anyways, and it was during said party that producer Iwamori actually instructed or approached the producer for the last film, I think, Tomoyuki Tanaka, to begin production on a sequel that was actually rushed into production because they wanted to get it out as fast as possible due to fear of the original movie losing its momentum and not being relevant anymore. If only they knew what would come years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that film made it on HBO Max.
Yeah, for real.
Which unfortunately none of the Heisei films are on, which disappoints me.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I actually did, a few days ago, watch the original 1954 film, Japanese cut on HBO Max. Thank you for showing me that, by the way, Noah. And for our next Godzillathon, we will definitely be covering that version of the film. And I can hereby concur that, yes, it is leagues ahead of the American re-edit.
And before we get to talking about the film, let's actually talk about the two kaiju actors. Two returning kaiju actors, both getting their own suit this time instead of having to share one. Haruo Nakajima and Katsumi Tezuka both once again return to play giant monsters in this film. And speaking of the monsters, yeah, the Godzilla suit and Anguirus suit, this is the first time we've seen the Anguirus suit, but the Godzilla suit is noticeably slimmer, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see that thing move around on screen differently from the original. And,
The creator in the original cut, they had to slow down the scenes for Gojira.
Yeah. Well, either way, dude, me personally, I can see why they slimmed down the suit itself because of the last film and, how many times that, Haruo and Katsumi would actively pass out inside of the suit. So I completely understand them slimming it down, but, in my personal opinion, the, 54 film actually has a better suit than this one. But that's a minor nitpick.
It's still Godzilla if you look at it from afar. Just don't get the close up.
He's high on meth.
Yeah. He was so high that his teeth started jutting out.
I mean, goddamn, the suit itself looks fine, but the goddamn puppet that they use for close-ups, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, at least it's not as bad as later. At least it's not as bad as later characters.
You can get a good look at it right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love my life, but there are just some things that are just too weird to ignore. Anyways, now let's go ahead and talk about the actual film. Alright, so Godzilla Raids Again, released in 1955, follows two fishing company pilots, and their names... Hold on.
Hiroshi Koizumi? Hiroshi Koizumi? I don't know these names, dude. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Where's the cast? Where's the cast?
Hiroshi Koizumi, I think he plays Shoichi Tsukioka. God damn it, we are so going to hell for this.
I think I can pull it up.
Oh no.
Alright, Hiroshi Koizumi? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yep.
Played by Shoichi Tsukikoa.
Okay, so I got the...
Shoichi Hold on, I gotta get his last name. His last name is a bit hard. Tsukiko Kyoka.
Yeah.
Shoichi Kyoka. There you go.
Yeah, and he plays Hiroshi Koizumi, and Koji Kobayashi plays Minoru Chiaki. And no, not Minoru as in Mineta from My Hero Academia. That little freak can go away. So yeah, it follows those two. Sorry if we butchered those names. And yeah, these two are two, fishing company pilots that end up getting caught in a struggle to stop the second generation of Godzilla and the first generation scene of Anguirus as the Japanese government attempts to stop the two monsters from destroying another city, Osaka, in their newest appearance. And obviously, as there is no more Dr. Serizawa, yeah, nobody can really stop these two monsters. At least not by
No more
killing them.
options. True, but as the movie goes further, we can see what the fates of these kaijus are in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Dude, freaking, I almost feel bad for Anguirus. And I'm kind of happy that it was in black and white because, freaking, yeah, the two monsters, they duke it out, like, really damn hard. And the way Anguirus, fucking dies is just brutal. Godzilla literally bites down on it. Spoiler alert! God's sake, this movie's from the 50s, so if you need a spoiler alert, how fucking young are you? But, spoiler alert, yeah, spoiler alert, Godzilla ends up killing Anguirus in this movie by biting down on his neck, and I'm pretty sure if this film was colored, it would have been very graphically bloody, because it already looked very bloody from the suits. And I can't actually remember, did he burn the corpse after he killed him?
Oh yes, he did. He did. Okay. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He used his incandescent light to... Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully Katsumi wasn't in the suit at the time.
Yeah. Well, considering I think he appears in later films, I don't think he was. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah, this movie, we gotta talk about the quality of the film, bro. A downgrade from the prior film, obviously. And unfortunately, I can't really say that, this film has any real qualities that outperform the prior film, with maybe the exception of the two kaijus fighting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad film. In fact, it's not really a bad film at all. It's very much, it's an average film, I'd say. But, yeah.
It's your run-of-the-mill kaiju battle film.
Yeah, it's basically the first Gamera film just for Godzilla.
Yep.
And here's the thing about the movie. Let's go ahead and first off, let's talk about the human actors. And characters. I don't think they were bad, but I do think that a few of them got a little bit better screen time than the others. Not necessarily more screen time, just more efficient screen time than others. Like, let me see this name again. Yeah. Koji Kobayashi, Minoru Chiaki. Yeah, I think that dude is easily one of the best characters in the whole film for me. He's funny, and he is very much a likable character. And didn't he die in the film?
That I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the film.
But yeah, I think he died, and, I mean, he was one of the highlights of the film for me. That and the monster action, which we'll get to in a second. But, it, like, just, some shit in this film just happens for the dumbest of reasons. Like the kaijus themselves being attracted to the city by a bunch of prisoners breaking out and starting a fire in a car wreck. I'm not kidding.
What are they, the Scorpius Rex?
Oh no. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Why the hell are the kaiju all of a sudden, like, canon to be attracted to lights? Because that doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean... Give me a moment to try and make this make sense.
You can't. You can't make it make sense. It's not humanly possible.
From the biological start of Gojira and Angry. Okay, sorry. I tried to sound smart there, okay? That's all I'm thinking. But possibly, maybe, simple explanation. Plot.
Yeah. I mean, shit, if we could count all the freaking events that happen in these movies simply because the plot needs to be progressed, I think that counter would reach over 100. So, I mean, and that's not just this movie. That's across the whole franchise. We'll get to those later.
Oh, son of
But
Godzilla.
now, let's go ahead and talk about the monsters, if you wish, Noah.
My favorite.
The monster action in this film, even though I do think that the 54 suit is more efficient and cooler to look at, I will say the monster action in this film is actually quite satisfying. This is the first time we actually see Godzilla in a fight against another kaiju, and I really like the fact that Godzilla essentially uses his atomic breath as, like, a deterrent. Like, not necessarily as a weapon, more just a method to make Anguirus back off. Like, dude, get off me, I'll kick your ass in a second, or some shit. But I really like how the two monsters, like, clawed and bit at each other, more than they actually did anything else. And yeah, I think that was really cool because it's made them seem like legitimate giant animals, because that's how animals would interact in the wild. Yeah, exactly, like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, Godzilla in this film, well, I mean, should we talk about Anguirus? Because, I mean, he kind of dies.
I mean, it is the first Anguirus, so...
Yeah. Well, yeah, the first Anguirus, we don't really know if he was, like, if he hated humanity, or if he just, like, or if he was just like Godzilla at this point and was like, meh, whatever, who gives a shit. But we do
They can
know
go fuck themselves.
Yeah. But we do know that Godzilla at this point in the franchise is a very different kaiju from the monster in the previous film, because the monster in the previous film, his father, is in fact dead, whereas Godzilla now is the son of the prior Godzilla, and he doesn't, like, hate humanity, but make no mistake, he is still kind of a cynical bastard, as was shown, or not shown, but, or yeah, shown, when me and Noah talked about the, when he killed Anguirus and then burned the corpse. And yeah, Godzilla may
Never told
not...
his best buddy.
What?
He never told his best buddy what happened to one of his brothers.
Well, let's hope Anguirus never finds out about that. One last thing, Godzilla in this film, yeah, he's not, like, he doesn't hate humanity, but make no mistake, if you get in his way, he is going to trample your ass. Your thoughts?
Yeah. At this point, Gojira, he acts in a way much like the original, but just more focused on Anguirus than anything else.
Yeah.
And really, the only time his attention is mainly drawn towards humanity is near the end, which is where...
Yeah.
You know.
And, yeah, the end of the film, it starts out kind of stupid because Godzilla literally just had a fight with Anguirus where he was trampling through a city, stepping over destruction and fire. Now all of a sudden he's afraid of fiery explosions caused by barrels. Really?
And for some reason, well, not for some reason, but yeah, then he just gets buried in ice.
Well, actually, I kind of liked the end of the film. Obviously, I didn't like it better than the monster action. It was kind of boring to sit there and watch. But it's almost kind of poetic in a way. Or not poetic, but it's essentially, like, what's the word? It's the lesser of two evils. Like, they can't kill Godzilla, but they definitely can't just let him stay, so they find an alternative, and I honestly don't know what would have happened if Godzilla wasn't on that iceberg for them to bury him in a bunch of snow and ice, but nevertheless, the point still remains that Godzilla, even though it's very clear that he can't be killed by these humans, I do think it's a good thing that they found a creative way to keep Godzilla alive for the obvious sequel that was coming, whilst at the same time making people feel like the film actually ended without a horrible, like, ending in, like, you know, some of the horror films. By the way, in the announcement video for this Godzillathon, just forget the fact that I said we were going to be talking about these movies for 5 minutes, because we've been talking about it for 15 minutes and there's no stopping.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and if you want me to add an extra minute, there's another story about this movie that was going to be produced by the Americans in a not Godzilla movie. Wasn't even called Gigantus. Wait, what? Yeah, because, no, originally, but in some parts of the story, in like the American way, not the American way, but America anyways, so a producer, in a way, used this movie as a catalyst to make it, well, to originally make the American version, which was not going to be a kaiju film, but a movie about two dinosaurs that were trapped in ice since the Jurassic Age, and they found them in a cave and brought them out. But then the ice melted, and the monsters were free. See, I wasn't able to find that. I only found the one synopsis for this film. Shit, I didn't know that, dude. Oh, yeah, and Godzilla was depicted as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, while Anguirus was an Ankylosaurus. Oh, sure! A Tyrannosaurus Rex that's 50 meters tall! I am sure fucking glad that didn't become an actual thing. But in my, can't remember it clearly, but the way the movie would have ended if this script got out, in a way would be a bit sadder than 1955 right again. How so? Well, like I said, I can't exactly remember, I just remember me feeling the way I did. Okay. Like, the movie itself would be a bit sadder. Yeah, I just don't understand American studios back in the day, man. Like, why would you change the script? It already has, like, why would you change this film so drastically? It already has enough problems, it doesn't need you guys being morons. And see, that's the thing, if the Americans went with this plan on making this the original American version of the movie, it wouldn't even be a Godzilla movie, it would be a movie about two tragic dinosaurs out of their own realm, and put into the modern, or what used to be the modern era, and now the only way for them to survive is to claim dominance, and they have to fight each other for some reason. Or maybe it was just a fight they never finished from them being enslaved to time. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, that would have easily been a lot worse than the film we actually got, so. You say what you want about the 1955 Raise Again film, but it's better than whatever the hell the Americans were planning from the sounds of it. Shit. Yes, 100-foot tall dinosaurs. Yeah, that's just... The Tyrannosaurus Rex could still breathe smoky, fiery gas.
I think it's just better if we completely forget about the American version, dude, and just go with what we got. Cause, what audiences would you recommend this film to, Noah?
Yeah, since it's still more of a Showa era one, I would say, and also since it's a bit more light than the original, probably like young kids, like from probably 9.
Yeah,
they might lose interest very fast, but
I wouldn't necessarily recommend this movie to kids. I would recommend this movie to anyone who just wants to see, like, two animals or giant monsters fighting. And for a lot of Godzilla fans, that's essentially what all of them want out of a Godzilla movie, even if said movie happens to be trash because the human aspect is disgusting. Thankfully, though, that was not the way this film turned out. It was an average film. And yeah, if you're a kaiju fan, or hell, even just a fan of action movies, I guess, with like two big-ass targets for the rest of the military to shoot at, I think you would like this film. Not better than some of the others, but you would probably find some enjoyment out of this one.
there'll be something new to watch.
Yeah, sort of.
Don't be me and just watch the same movie 100 million times.
Oh, please, dude. I've watched Godzilla vs. Kong 2021, like 500 times now, and I'm not stopping.
Still, though, explore something new, because, I failed at that.
Yeah.
I lose interest in things I don't know.
Yeah. And speaking of Godzilla vs. Kong, Noah, do you want to introduce the next film on our list?
Well then, I must prepare myself for this.
Okay, Master Shifu.
Are you ready to learn Kung Fu? Very well. I got the thing right here, and that thing is this.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Join us not next week. God damn it, you stupid oaf. Yeah, no, join us tomorrow when we cover the film that started easily one of the greatest rivalries in all of fiction, King Kong vs. Godzilla from 1962. See you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, y'all know the drill. Like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Y'all want more videos, right? More kick-ass shit? Well good, cause I want more views. Let's help each other on this.